Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, perverted teacher gets 14 years. $95 million flight academy for Fiji. And Dikamatana's sensational lift breaks record.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
A 35-year-old former primary school teacher in Nasinu, convicted of 4 counts of rape and 9 counts of sexual assault involving children in his charge, has been sentenced to 14 years imprisonment. High Court Judge Justice Alesi Temo says the long-serving prison sentence should serve as a warning to would-be rapists. Anna Ravulo with this report.
It was an emotional day for the father of one who was sentenced this afternoon. Justice Temo said the 35-year-old former colleagues described him as a hard-working, well-mannered man and a good role model. However, his trial revealed that from 2010 to 2012, he committed a string of offences involving 9 young girls at the school where he taught. All were under the age of 13. Temo said that 99% of teachers do their best in school, while others, like the teacher convicted, do the unthinkable. Sentenced to 14 years, the former primary school teacher has been given a non-parole period of 13 years. He has now 30 days to appeal. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Work on Fiji's first ever multi-million-dollar aviation academy has begun. Once complete, the state-of-the-art academy in Namaka Nandi will offer a world-class training facility for pilots with fixed training devices. Felipe Naikaso reports.
Sowing the seeds for a great future for Fiji's aviation industry. There are big plans in the pipeline once the $95 million Aviation Academy opens its doors.
Phase 1 of the academy will be open for training by the end of March 2019. Phase 2 of the academy will see the establishment of a flight school providing ab initio cadet training with state-of-the-art fixed training devices. We already have the Airbus training device and will shortly acquire the Boeing one. By providing end-to-end pilot training in Nandi, Fiji Airways will increase the localization of our pilots, thereby ensuring that we provide a comprehensive career path for skilled Fijian pilots right here at home. Phase 3 of the academy will see the establishment of a cabin crew training school with all the initial and recurrent training requirements.
Millions of dollars will also be saved once the academy is up and running, as local pilots will no longer have to travel overseas for simulation training.
This facility, the Fiji Aviation Academy, will be the first in the Pacific, and that includes Australia and New Zealand, to house a full flight simulator for the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. It will also include a full flight simulator for the Airbus A330.
This is a holistic project aimed at ensuring Fiji's ability to offer aviation education and training.
We will be able to ensure that we not only provide the services to our people, develop Fijian pilots who can actually be trained in Fiji, do not have to go offshore, but also then to be able to take advantage of the fact that we'll offer this service to other island countries and also even countries like Australia, New Zealand, various other countries.
The Fiji Aviation Academy will also put Fiji on the map for aviation excellence and safety. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
There was a major boost for our agriculture sector as the Indian government today gave $2.17 million to be used to buy vehicles and other equipment from India. The equipment includes tractors, cane lorries and cane harvesting machines and will be arriving in the country next year. Akusita Thale has the details.
India's assistance has come at the right time as it will ease the labour shortage issue in the cane farming industry.
Currently there is shortage of labour in almost all sectors in the country. So cane cutters has been an issue, as you know, that we have been using services from the prisons to harvest our cane.
Yogesh Karan says more machines will mean we are moving in the right direction to mechanize the industry.
The sugar industry is heavily mechanized. We are still very much outdated. I would say that we are behind more than 50 years. For instance, in Australia, you hardly find anyone on the field. It's all mechanized. But they have a very flat terrain. We don't. Ours is a bit of a challenge.
The Indian government says they will continue to assist Fiji in any way they can to improve our agricultural development.
From this assistance, the equipments which are required by the Fiji Sugar Corporation, those will be sourced, and definitely that will be helpful.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama thanked the Indian government for their support, adding the donation will assist cane farmers by reducing operational costs and making work easier. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
The Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption has lodged an appeal with the Suva High Court against the judgment of Chief Magistrate Usai Ratuvili acquitting former Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy. Dr. Reddy was charged with 1 count of bribery and 1 count of undue influence. Dr. Reddy pleaded not guilty to all the charges and was acquitted on the 1st of this month. FICAC has appealed on 8 grounds and now awaits the notice from the High Court for the matter to be heard. Lambasa town has become the first municipality in the country to have CCTV cameras as it fights to become crime-free. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports the cameras will be on 24/7 surveillance.
In a bid to help police curb crime in Lambasa, the Northern Dovata Crime Prevention Committee has funded for the installation of CCTV cameras worth $36,000 in Lambasa town.
The main TV will be at the police headquarters, at the command center, and we'll be having a 24/7, one police officer completely sitting there and watching what's happening in our town. And then if they can see any big traffic jam or accidents, they can be there, or any crime.
The installation of the CCTV cameras will mostly benefit business owners who in the recent past have been subjected to robberies and theft. Only recently it assisted in the apprehension of a few suspects.
We have a suggestion that even the local shops, they should have their own CCTV camera, so that one is facing towards on the other side of the road and the other shop will face towards this side.
11 CCTV cameras have so far been installed, and it stretches from the Lambasa Municipal Market right to Waikona and also includes the bus station as well as Jaduram Street. The 3-year project also plans to install a few cameras at Park Street, Sangam Street as well as Nanuku Street.
It's very good for Lambasa, especially for consumers and shopkeepers. People working here, marketing vendors, it's good for them.
CCTV is very helpful because it will ease the job of the police to find criminals.
Control of the CCTV surveillance will be fully handed over to the Fiji Police Force next Thursday. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Still to come, Fiji lacks skin specialists. And MSAF yet to comment on barge mishap. Stay with us.
Moala rarara ranavika, o tikongona tau na Singapore, ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora subuli kurnambili, ibora ni batu karahan barabinan nga, do talitakinan na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
There is a need for more skin specialists in the country. At present, there is only one dermatologist dealing with the problem of albinism, which means the loss of skin coloration. UN independent expert on albinism, Iponwosa Ero, is here this week gathering information on the situation. Savara Tambor reports.
The UN expert says it's quite challenging having only one specialist in the country, but she's happy the government support training for more dermatologists to tackle the problem.
Definitely something the government is aware of, and that's why they're supporting the upcoming training of more dermatologists next year. the National University will issue diplomas to these people who are going to be trained. So I look forward to this time next year, maybe this number will go from 1 to, who knows, a multiple of more doctors.
Fijians with albinism have shared their views of this initiative.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good idea, and it's a good initiative they're taking, that these people are not left out.
I am really happy about this idea, and I believe others will be proud of it also.
Other findings includes the need to strengthen awareness of albinism and the need for government to launch a systematic collection of information on the subject. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji is yet to make a statement on the tragic sinking of the cargo barge Kaiwai and the deaths of 3 aboard. The barge apparently capsized in rough seas with 12 people aboard while travelling to Mbukama Island in the Yasawas last Tuesday. The Fiji Navy has confirmed to FBC News that they too haven't received a response from MSAF on their concern over a possible oil spill, given 40 tonnes of diesel oil was on board when the vessel sank. According to an MSAF spokesperson, a statement will only be released by their CEO, who is currently out of the country. While only 2 bodies were recovered, villagers continue to search for the missing 3rd man. With 17 days to Christmas, people can expect a number of activities at the Maisuva Park from tonight. Christmas on the Park this year aims to bring Fijians to share the festive cheer and spirit while enjoying daily entertainment. This includes lighting up of the Christmas tree, which will be done tonight. We now cross live to our journalist Kelly Vadala at Maisuva Park. Kelly, it sounds exciting, and we're sure building up to the most looked forward festival of the year. How's the excitement where you are?
Yes, Jackie, everyone definitely looks forward to Christmas, and what better way to start off the Christmas spirit here at Maisuva Park when Fijians from all over the country are here to celebrate the Christmas spirit with one another. We are here filled, the atmosphere is filled with a lot of excitement, a lot of Christmas carols and various entertainment from our very own local artists. But here with me is Vodafone Fiji's Chief Marketing Officer Rajneesh Prasad. Rajneesh, this has become a tradition. Tell us, why do you do this every year, and what's the difference between this year's event and the previous ones?
Yeah, definitely. This year is quite different from the other years as well. When we started this event back 3 years ago, we didn't think that it will continue so far. But because of the support of all the people and people seeing the enjoyment, the time that they spend here, they really like it. That's the reason why we have continued to ensure that we run Christmas in the park always. And this year is something very unique that we are doing. We have invited some special guests, children from a special school, who will be doing the lighting in Christmas in the park. Why we have chosen children? Because children also play a very important part in our lives, and this festive season is something which is very important to them.
Well, thank you, Mr. Prasad. Well, there you have it. That is the latest from Maisuva Park here at Nasese. So if you're at home, you have nothing to do, bring the kids down, bring your family, your friends down, and just come and share the Christmas spirit with Fijians from other places. Jackie.
Sounds exciting. Thanks so much for that, Kelly. To international news now, President Donald Trump has announced the U.S. will officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The move has faced criticism from U.S. allies in the Muslim world, Palestinian officials calling it the kiss of death in the Middle East. But the announcement has been welcomed by Israel's Prime Minister, who says the Jewish people will be forever grateful. Ahead in sports with Jamie, Vikamatana breaks her own record at Pacific Mini Games. But up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight, 30 Lomaiviti women to take part in National Expo. And in Goa in Fiji, new dam to provide consistent water supply. Stay with us.
I'm Andrea Sorbakroa of Nayabu Wenimbuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM.
only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, 30 women from the Lomaiviti group will for the first time take part in the National Women's Expo next year. These women were chosen from the Lomaiviti Art and Craft Show that was held during the Lomaiviti Festival currently underway in Suva. Over 100 women were part of the show. 33-year-old Lovoni representative Margaret Bolatangane says the show gives them an opportunity to showcase their products.
It's really helping us on opening markets around Fiji and also in overseas. So it's a really very helpful thing for the Women's Expo. Even it's a really challenging thing for letting us do more and get to know more.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock market.
Thank you. Looking at some major news on the economic calendar, last night the Bank of Canada left its benchmark interest rate unchanged at 1%. The rate was last raised in September. Third quarter productivity for the United States came out at 3% this morning, a solid number even though expectations were for a slightly higher revision. Australia had its October trade balance released during the day. It recorded a lower surplus than expected at 105 million. Japan would be releasing its leading economic index for October, and a bit later in the evening we will have the GDP data released for the Eurozone. Tomorrow morning we are expecting to see the initial jobless claims numbers for the United States, which is expected to be slightly higher than the last reading. Some more interesting data from the United States still to come around the weekend, so let's see what direction the currencies take in days ahead. And that's all for now, Rachel. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Looking at today's current exchange rate set each morning for the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar was fairly steady this week. Overnight, it rose slightly against the Australian and New Zealand dollars, as well as the PNG Kina was steady against the euro and dropped against the other currencies. As for the commodities market, oil prices dropped about $1 to close at $56.40 a barrel. Gold was down to close at $1,263 an ounce, and silver closed at $15.97 an ounce. And in Goin, Fiji tonight, a new dam has been constructed in the Navilawa village and a 45,406-litre cement tank reservoir in the district of Nalotawa in Ba. Around 45 households will benefit from this project. The grog farming community has been struggling with the lack of clean and consistent water. The village had to source their drinking water from a nearby creek, running this through their pipes. The project has cost around $67,000. And that's your business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Fijian weightlifters continue to shine at mini games. And Fiji Sevens team aims the avenge loss against South Africa in Cape Town. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Fijian weightlifter Eileen Thikamatana has broken her Commonwealth and Oceania Games record at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu. She lifted 105 kilograms in the snatch and 143 kilograms in the clean and jerk for a total of 248 kilograms to walk away with all 3 gold medals in the 90 kilogram division. Her previous total lift record stood at 243 kg, which was set in Australia during the Commonwealth and Oceania Championships in September. Here's Thikamatana in action earlier today.
That'll be it. That's a Commonwealth record right here at the mini games. 112. But certainly in super form, 3 big kilos, breaking her own record of some months ago. That opted, because of her studies and her commitment to Pacific sport, to stay here and compete with us. Amazing scenes here. Women's competition in weightlifting is now done.
Meanwhile, Apollonia Vaivai also won 3 gold medals in the women's 75-kilogram weight category at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu last night. She lifted 95 kilograms in the snatch to win gold and set a new Pacific Games record. She also secured gold in the clean and jerk with the lift of 110 kilograms, her total lift 215 kilograms. She will now compete at the Commonwealth Games in April 2018. He was the Pacific's king of the tracks not too long ago. Now speedster Mbanube Tamakau-Thoro is adjusting to the atmosphere of the Pacific Mini Games as a rugby player. He last featured for Team Fiji in athletics at the 2015 Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea. Tamakau-Thoro says he looks forward to showing the Pacific his rugby skills when Fiji plays Nauru at 8 p.m. tomorrow.
This will be the first time I've been competing in the Pacific Games, not in the sport of athletics, but in rugby. So it feels pretty awkward. It's weird, but you know, it's a new challenge. It just it is pretty new.
The Fiji men's and women's table tennis teams both won bronze medals at the mini games today. The men's team defeated PNG in 3 sets, while the women's team also beat PNG in 3 sets to grab the bronze medal. Meanwhile, in tennis, the national men's pair beat Samoa in 2 sets to book its semi-final spot against New Caledonia tomorrow. The women's team has bowed out of the competition after losing to New Caledonia in 3 straight sets. The Vanuatu football side defeated Tonga 5-1 in its second match of the Pacific Mini Games last night. Host Vanuatu displayed a good teamwork in the first half, leading Tonga 2-0 at halftime. Vanuatu added 2 more goals in the second half to seal their victory. Meanwhile, the Fiji men's football team ended its game against Solomon Islands at 0-0 last night. The Fiji women's football side will take on Vanuatu at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Fiji, New Zealand and England are all out to disrupt South Africa's momentum on the Sevens World Series. The South Africans won 4 of the first 5 tournaments last season and sealed the series win with a clear lead on the points table. Having already set the scene with a win in Dubai last week, teams have accepted they'll only be harder to beat at home this weekend. Eroni Tuinuku has more.
Fiji will work hard to change the outcome of the tournament when they take on South Africa this weekend.
Our best.
Second placed New Zealand is ready to face the Springboks on their home soil. However, England team captain Tom Mitchell says they know it will be a tough task to beat the home team. Fiji will play their first game against Wales on Saturday at 9:37 p.m. and face Canada on Sunday at 12:58 a.m. followed by Samoa at 3:57 a.m. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Some new players will get an opportunity to play for the Lautoka football team when they take on Team Wellington in a 2-match friendly this weekend. The upcoming festive season has not deterred the Sugar City boys, who are training in full force. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
The Lautoka football side is eager to take on one of New Zealand's top teams this weekend.
Yes, I would say it's a good build-up, and for the coaches to analyze for some of the subs will be taking on this coming Friday.
Despite missing out on some experienced players, Chane Vesikula says they will perform to their level best.
The preparation is going on well in presence of some of the old players too, and we are looking forward to give a challenge.
This friendly match will give a good build-up platform for the local boys.
Fitness is coming up, so like this match will be a good preparation for our O-League.
The first game kicks off at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow at Lautoka's Churchill Park, while the second friendly will be played at the same venue at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
AFL Fiji's development program building towards the 2020 World Cup is not only focused on upskilling senior players, but also preparing young players who may get their break when the time comes. AFL Fiji is also making full use of the Oceania Cup to prepare young players for elite competition. Luciana Tangidakimbao reports.
The AFL officials will be working closely with junior players to prepare themselves for the senior and international competition in years to come.
Start up again next year, so we'll have a senior competition again next year and sort of look at our development pathway through to the 2020 Senior World Cup. But at Oceania level, or at under 15 level, we have an Oceania Cup every year, so we'll just be looking to nurture our under 15 talent all year, every year, and hopefully they come through and they continue through that development pathway, and then in the lead up to our senior national team, they'll be good enough to go through and represent the tribe at the World Cup.
AFL Development Officer Simon Highfield says the Oceania Cup competition every year is to recruit young players.
The Oceania Cup is to act as a talent academy, so we can select the best kids to go and represent the South Pacific. That South Pacific squad will then go across to Australia sometime next year to play in the Queensland State Academy, and if you're good enough in that academy, then you'll go on to represent Queensland.
Meanwhile, Fiji tribe captain and best player Sitiveni Mbaivo says he was overwhelmed when chosen to represent the Pacific team in the last Queensland under-15s.
Good, especially for my parents. They are very surprised when they heard when I represent the Pacific team.
The Oceania Cup final starts tomorrow at Albert Park. Luciana Tangidakimbao, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, world's largest uncut diamond sells for $6.5 million at auction. That's coming up.
Bula, kerang mai singatoka, kerang do talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola untuk talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu Venezuela, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media, HP and VSS Nova Go are two hybrids that might make you leave your charger at home. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It was a rainy start to our Thursday with decent afternoon sunshine. The good news is that this sunshine will continue in the coming days. Taking a look in the west, a not-so-sunny day, clouds were hovering over with light showers. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a rainy one with rumbles of thunderstorms in few places. And up north, it wasn't spared, there were light showers up there too. At sea, northwest to southwest winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 8:39 with low tide at 3:09. Sunrise will be at 6:22. For tomorrow, we're looking at dry spells, well, thanks to rain for clearing. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will be hot with highs of 31 degrees. Looks like a good day for a swim. And looking further on to Saturday, I'm so glad There is finally some sunshine in the forecast. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what do you think of Fiji's performance at the Pacific Mini Games so far?
They're so far so good, doing well.
They're doing up to standard, and I hope they'll get more medals.
Concerning their performance, they are up to the standard that Fiji is really trying to achieve.
Team Fiji is doing very well in Vanuatu.
In my opinion, Fiji can win this Pacific Mini Game.
I think their performance are getting better.
I think they've done extremely well, but still they can do better.
One of the world's largest diamonds was just sold at an auction in New York. Dubbed the Peace Diamond, the stone was mined in Sierra Leone by an artisanal miner who brought it to the government. Recapping the main stories, perverted teacher gets 14 years, $95 million flight academy for Fiji, and Fijian lifter Thikamatana breaks records in mini games. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, do you think enough is being done to help rape victims? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. The picture was taken from Voli Voli overlooking the Malake Island in Raki Raki by Pushp Das. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasama mo tikola, ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasawale, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.